Yo, what is up, guys? Moxsy here, back with another Borderlands YouTube video. And today we're going to be doing something different. I wanted to start a new series on the channel that we're going to be going in depth on. Instead of Amara's skills, we're going to be looking more at her weapons, her gear, and everything that she can use very well. This series is going to focus more on weapons that Amara can use better than other characters instead of all around good guns that anyone can use. Before we get right into the video, I just have a few things to say. Just wanted to update you guys on what's going on with the channel. I am fortunate enough that I'm getting some help from some friends, and we're gonna hopefully by tomorrow have a full Discord up for you guys. If you're interested in talking to me, getting to interact with like-minded people, more Amara players, and getting groups together to play, that Discord will be right at home for you. We're also going to get a Twitter going, an Instagram going. We'll get logos for the channel, intros. We got a lot going on, and the content is just going to get better and better. So make sure to stay subscribed. And yeah, let's get into the video. So today we're going to be looking at shotguns on Amara. Amara has a lot of synergy with shotguns, especially elemental ones. And so we're going to be looking at what shotguns are good, but more importantly, what shotguns are good on Amara and why they're good on Amara. So we're going to be giving it's my top four. Everyone is entitled to their own opinions, and there's a lot of shotguns in this game. These are just the four that, from my time playing the game, I have found are the best shotguns. So, in no particular order, we have the Butcher, the Conference Call, the Facepuncher, and the Brainstormer. So, let's just get started from the bottom. The Butcher is a legendary shotgun that can come in any element. The Butcher is a weapon that can be farmed from ludograms or world drops. And I'll cover what ludograms are at the end of this. We're just going to finish talking about the video. But the Butcher can come in any element. However, whatever element you get on it, it'll always come with the same property in that it has the possibility when you shoot to not consume ammo. And it already has a crazy high fire rate. Sometimes your DPS output will vary because it's chance of your chance not to consume ammo, but sometimes you'll get these god roll chances and be able to empty out for 5-6 seconds of just straight damage, which is crazy. Now, part of the reason why the Butcher is so great on Amara is one, because it's a gun that is used the best in super close range. And Amara has the skill Personal Space that is going to give her the most use out of the Butcher because she'll be always up close when she's using it, and the Butcher already does insane damage with Personal Space. It's just going to be doing even more. And I'm not going to say that other characters can't use the Butcher, but there's certain synergies that Amara have that some other characters don't. The Butcher the Butcher's fire rate and damage output that it can put out makes it a great weapon for killing anointed tanks, badass enemies, and any boss that isn't very large unless you're right up close to it. So, like the damage phases of Grave Ward and Tyrene, the Butcher can be really amazing for, especially if you're using something like my DPS build, where you're boosting fire damage and you have a fire damage Butcher. You put out a lot of damage with this. The reason I say that the Butcher isn't great for bigger bosses, unless you're up close to them, is because of the next gun on our list, which is the Conference Call. The Conference Call is a gun that was in Borderlands 2, and prior to receiving a nerf in Borderlands 2 with its synergy with the B Shield was absolutely broken. Now, the Conference Call in Borderlands 3 hasn't returned to the same glory that it once had, but it still does a lot of damage, and it still has its properties of ricocheting bullets that allow the conference call to be a really great tool for killing large bosses, because your projectiles will, you can shoot one projectile and have a chance to hit the boss more than once with the shots that you're firing. This also works really great with Amara's indiscriminate skill. Since our bullets are going to be ricocheting on their own and hitting enemies, having a skill that increases that ricochet chance means that we're going to have bullets ricocheting on their own and ricocheting with indiscriminate. And using something like indiscriminate and ties that bind with the link damage, you can clear out a whole room by emptying a clip of the conference call into one of the enemies. That's not saying that you can't do that with the butcher, but it works really well with indiscriminate and ties that bind because of that ricochet chance. The next gun we're going to be talking about, and the butcher is also a world drop, or sorry, the conference call is also a world drop, and the conference call can come in any element. Well, I shouldn't say any element. Fire, shock, and radiation in this game. Only fire, shock, and radiation, which I actually didn't know before looking at this list. The list I'm looking at, I'll post in the description, and it is a list of all the legendaries in the game, the elements that they can come in, where they drop, and their properties, which is really, really great to have something by your side for playing the game, just so you can know what you're looking for when you pick up a gun. You can know what it does. For our next gun, we're going to be looking at the Deep Dive Facepuncher. Now, this gun is probably the gun that Amara can use better than any other Vault Hunter on this list. The Deep Dive Facepuncher, for you that don't know, is a shotgun that shoots melee damage. It scales off of our melee damage, and if you picked it up and you just looked at it, you may not know that because it doesn't say that specifically, but it's going to it's going to scale off our melee damage. So if you're building a melee Amara, it's a great go-to weapons for whenever you need to pull out a weapon, to have that, because it's going to get boosted by your melee damage, it gets boosted by artifact melee damage, it gets boosted by shield melee damage, and so the damage that you can put out with this thing can get kind of crazy. The Facepuncher is also a drop, and I apologize. I know that it's frustrating when all these things are world drops, because you can't farm specifically a boss for them, but they are world drops, and you guys just got to keep grinding for them. And now our last gun is the Brainstormer, and this gun I got yesterday from a Twitch viewer. I got the Butcher from a Twitch viewer, DRL. The Brainstormer I did not get it as a drop. One of my friends sent it to me. I just wanted to disclose that. The Brainstormer is also a world drop and can only come in shock. And what's amazing about the Brainstormer, and may put it in the top of Amara's weapons and something that all Amara's players should have, is that its special ability, or weapon perk, you can say, is that it chains between enemies when multiple enemies are close, and it chains shock damage. And we're going to show this off in a second. And why Amara can use this so well is because of this skill called Sustainment. Sustainment gives Amara lifesteal based on elemental damage that she's dealing. Sustainment's biggest downfall is that when you're using it, you only get lifesteal from elemental damage with guns that you're doing. Status over time effects and damage over time effects do not give you lifesteal, which is really unfortunate because we have such synergy with long damage over time effects that are going to be doing a lot of damage. So what we can do with Sustainment and the Brainstormer is this chain that the Brainstormer causes doesn't actually count as a dot. Instead, it counts as elemental damage, that we're doing with our gun. And because of that reason, you can practically full heal yourself while using this gun. Using that with a lure and ties that bind, once again, you don't need ties that bind because it chains already, but just for the point of this video, I'll be showing that off. You can pull in a bunch of enemies, shoot a few shots into the guy who is phase locked, and you will heal for your entire health bar almost instantly. It's crazy. So hopefully you guys learned something from this. I'll be linking the description. I'll be linking the Excel sheet that I was using for these weapons. But I do just want to show off this Brainstormer's ability to full heal us. And lastly, we got this Rough Rider to drop for us today, so that's going to be an update on our build. We'll be using this a lot just because I didn't know that Rough Riders could drop with this. I got reload speed and movement speed while depleted, and as you know, the Rough Rider is always depleted, so this is just amazing for us. Alright, let's go find some enemies. See that heal? Let's see if we can get more. This is on Mayhem 3, by the way. Let's see if we can get a lot of guys next to each other. We went down, but as you saw, that healed us for our entire health bar almost instantly. We'll pull out the Butcher real quick. Down again. The build I'm using right now isn't for, is just for show purposes. I wanted to highlight some of these guns and what they can do, but on Mayhem 3 with personal space, the Butcher will also melt. It doesn't give us as great of a heal as the Brainstormer would, but it's still a really great choice for a gun. Yeah, so that's the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'd like to put out a leveling guide for Amara. We're also going to be adding more build guides just because I want to give you guys as many choices as possible, and we're going to keep going with the next installment of what guns and gear are the best on Amara. So peace out, and I'll see y'all tomorrow.